What's up, Slayers? Happy Friday, y'all. It is the last day of June, and that means it's Slay Station time. What's going on? It's summertime, right? Everybody's in summer mode. The bass are in summer mode, and we hope you're out there slaying, right? We just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight for another Slay Station. And tonight is an Oklahoma takeover. That's right. We got some Oklahoma Slayers hopping on with their fearless leader, right? Their director, Joe Rentie. So we cannot wait to have that gang hop on in just a few moments. Hey, if you're tuning in, appreciate you. We already got our buddy Ed Munoz, right? Just got his Slay jersey, right? What up, Big Ed? He's representing Georgia Slay Nation. If you're watching on Facebook, grant StreamYard permission to use your Facebook name so that when you comment, we could see who's commenting. Otherwise, you're going to have to comment your name. We won't know who it is. It'll say Facebook user. If you're tuning in on YouTube, appreciate it. Just like, share, right? If you're watching on Facebook, share with anybody, your pals, all right? And, we appreciate y'all tuning in. We see some comments coming in right now out on that night bite. Oh, someone's out fishing right now at night. Look at that. Don't know who it is. It says Facebook user. But, hey, thanks for tuning in. Hey, if you are in any of our Slay Nation live event clubs, kayak series, small vessel, horsepower, right? Your jerseys are out to your directors. Some of your directors already have them. I put the last 2 boxes out on, what's today? Friday, I think Wednesday or yesterday, right? So all of our live clubs, they got their jerseys. They came in. I finally got them out. Lastly, I just packed up every single Lady Slayer jersey. We mail those directly. That's the online series. If you're in the National Slot Series membership, right, I got those packed up. Those are going out. And then tomorrow morning, I'll get the next generation, our youth Slayers. Their jerseys will be packed up and sent out. So expect those within the next week and a half. The post office hates me. I'm coming in with instead of coming in with 30 packages, I'm coming in with like 12, 15 because people are just lining up behind me. So those will get out. I promise. Did I do the permissions correctly? Yes, Ed, you're all set, buddy. I saw you earlier. So appreciate it. You're on YouTube and Facebook, brother. Hey, we just want to thank all of our great sponsors. Our title sponsor, you know it, right? Z Pro Lithium. This is their, right, 10 amp hour, 12 volt battery. Great for running your electronics or lights on your boat, your kayak, whatever it might be. Go check out zprolithium.com. Slay Nation members, use your discount. We also like to thank Hook Set Hoodlums, one of our presenting sponsors. Hey, they got tank tops. So if you're a tank top person, right, it's summertime, sun's out, guns out, and buns out, right? Go check out hooksethoodlums.com, right? Harmony Fishing Company. Go check out. Listen, it's top water time, y'all. Go get yourself one of those top water frogs. Doesn't matter which one you get. Pop it on one of these Toad Prop series, the Razor series, right? It's got one of those little propellers on there, right? Spits the water, a little extra added action. Go check out harmonyfishingcompany.com. Been with us since we started. Heat your meat. That's right. This is their newest product. It is SPG, salt, pepper, garlic. Okay. Hot and heavy garlic. I put this on a steak last night. I put it on another steak I had tonight. And I'm telling you right now, this one isn't like extremely hot. This is perfect, but it's so tasty. Put it on corn on a cob. If you like to grill corn on a cob, right? Which I love doing that. Sprinkle it on there with some butter. I mean, put this on anything, maybe some mayonnaise, put it on your sandwich. So go check out heatyourmeat.net and use our code SLAYIN10. Okay. And last but not least, our fourth presenting sponsor, X Zone Lures. X marks the spot. There it is. Brandon Polinick, Carl Jacobson, a few of the pros that use them. This right here is their MB Finesse Worm. It floats, so you can add some weight on this if you're going to wacky rig it or Nico rig it, right? This is green pumpkin, right, on the top with June bug on the bottom, right? Little combo pack there. So go check out X Zone Lures, right? I know a lot of slayers are using it because they told us that our code is getting used a ton. So we hope you're slaying. Take some pictures, share it with us. We'd love to promote it. And it gives us content to share, right? So that's it, y'all. But hey, enough of that. Let's get some slayers on here, y'all. Here we go. Julian Gallegos, Oklahoma Director Joe Rentie,
going on, people?
What's going on? What's going on?
Clark in the house. And we got Team Shake and Bake. That is Colt Frank and Christian. I don't remember your last name.
Tolbert.
All right. Christian Tolbert. There it is. What's
Yeah.
up, Slayers?
What's
Going
up?
on?
What's happening,
Not
Captain?
much. All right. Happy Friday. Welcome to Slay Station. We're going to try to make y'all famous tonight. So listen, really appreciate everybody hopping on. It's Friday night. I know it's like 4th of July kind of weekend. There's so many things going on. I'm sure everybody has family things, whatever it might be. So we appreciate y'all taking time to pop on tonight. And promise we won't keep you too long. I know you guys are an hour behind Eastern time, so it's about 8:30 where y'all are. So what I'd love to do first is let's just go around the table, right? We'll start with Julian, then go to Joe, and so on and so forth. And just let everybody know, right? First, last name, and what part of Oklahoma you're representing.
All right, so my name is Julian Gallegos. I already screwed up my last name. Don't worry. I am from the northeast part of Oklahoma, in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, about 30 minutes south of Tulsa. Gives you a
Okay.
locational area.
All right. Appreciate it. And then next, the fearless leader.
So I'm Joe Rentie. So I'm from basically the Tulsa, Oklahoma area, but specifically Coweta.
Okay, Coweta. That's how we pronounce it.
Yeah.
All right. Because when I pack your packages, I was like, is it Coweta? All right, Coweta.
Happens all the time.
Coweta.
All right, dude. That's
The
all right,
names here in
Coweta.
Oklahoma.
All right, let's go down to Team Shake and Bake.
Yeah. My name's Christian Tolbert. I live in Mustang, Oklahoma, Tuttle, Oklahoma. There's Dwayne.
No, look at Dwayne.
All right, so let's kick it to Dustin.
My name's Colton Franks.
Oh,
Same
never
thing,
mind, Colton.
Just out of Mustang, Oklahoma, which is just west of Oklahoma City.
Okay. All right. Are you a Thunder fan?
I like the Thunder.
Yeah.
I'll support a home team.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's what I like to hear. All right, Mr. Clark.
Dustin Clark from Haskell, Oklahoma. It's about 10 miles south of Coweta. So
Okay.
10 miles south of Joe. Yes,
More
sir.
Haskell boys.
Okay. There it is. You guys are like a bunk bed over there. All right, Mr. Dwayne Morris.
Hey, how y'all doing? Dwayne Morris. I'm actually one of the Kansas boys. I'm about 70 miles north of Tulsa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I see that guitar there behind you. Do you play a few ditties?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right,
Once in a
we
while.
might have to put a request in.
Talk to the fearless leader.
Talk to the fearless leader.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Maybe, I don't know. That's right. I forgot about that. Well, someone's going to have to sing then. Shit. I don't know. Joe, do you sing or you just play?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I gotta hear them vocals.
All right, you know what that
Might
means.
Might have to bless us with some of that sugar, dog.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Thank you for all hopping on, Dwayne. I know. Sorry, I just saw that you popped on down there, so my apologies. All right. So listen, we're talking Slay Nation, Oklahoma Small Vessel Series. So anybody watching our Small Vessel Series, that is the bread and butter of Slay Nation. That's how this whole thing started. Was John boat teams, kayak teams, people fishing out of canoes, whether you had a paddle, a trolling motor, or whatever you were using to propel yourself. So that's what Oklahoma's got going on now. Joe, this is what, third year, right? Third year, Oklahoma?
Yeah. No, this
That's
is our
right.
fourth year.
Fourth.
Is it fourth year?
We're on fourth,
Yeah.
yeah. Season 4.
Holy, I lose track, man. I lose track. I feel like
Same.
we've been around
All
for
the
like
time.
so long. 4 years. So you guys hopped on right after we first started.
Right.
So talk about how Oklahoma Slay Nation's going. Talk about the growth so far. And kind of like, shed some light on what's going on down there, because I see a lot of excitement going on in the Facebook group, and I really like that.
So it goes both ways. It seems like we're getting a lot of excitement within the club. And then it seems like I don't want to say we're catching a lot of hate. We're not catching hate, but it seems like the pushback is you either like it or you hate it kind of thing. Which some people don't like the team aspect. Some people want the solo aspect. Some people like the team aspect. It goes back and forth. But the main thing of what we started here was with the small vessels. Everybody was in a boat. And so I was in a boat myself. And so And we kind of started off as really more just like a ragtag bunch of guys that just looked like none of us knew what we were doing on the water, except for Dwayne and Gunny, because they were like pro fishermen before, but the rest of us are just like, anyway. But it is absolutely built over the past few years. And so for a while, it was just word of mouth, talking to some people see you fishing in your off time. But lately I hate to say it, but lately it's been the online presence, and I've got to give that big time to Julian too, and also Dustin Clark, because they like to blast a lot of stuff online about the tournament series and what's going on. And whenever we're getting some, Julian, he has no fear, man. He'll jump in all these kayak groups like, here's our stuff.
Here's our stuff. Yep, I have no fear on
like,
what we post in other people's
like,
stuff. I'm like,
schedule, their tournament series. I'll let them post their stuff. No, Julian's just like, come see with us.
Yeah. So like, come fish with us.
But it works, man. It works, and we've gotten a lot of attention that way.
Yeah, that's like that way too. Yeah, that's hit or miss sometimes nowadays, right? With the like posting something like in a forum, you never, because everybody's a keyboard warrior, right? So you never you never know. Yeah,
I figured that this way too, because I showed up at the Oklahoma Western Kayak Anglers, one of their tournaments, and I had an itching for a tournament, and actually I couldn't wait and the next week to go to the last jackpot tournament that we had, so I actually just joined another tournament and won their tournament. But I actually, while I was there, I kept saying, "Hey, you guys, if you guys, you guys are always all buddy. You guys, we have team kayaking at Slay Nation.
Right.
Like, you guys can come along and do the same thing and be next to each other and just jot and have a good time." So it's kind of how I see it. Is if we can jump in all together at the same time in other clubs and give them the morale to come to our club and come hang out with us.
What's up, AJ?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, AJ Phillips saying what's up. Yeah, I agree. Like, you just kind of want to show like, yo, we're not here to kick anybody, like we're not, we're just another tournament club, right?
And
like,
that's what people, sometimes it seems like that's what people aren't getting. It's like, well, if you guys did everything on Tourney X instead, it'd make it a lot easier. If you guys, like, I don't understand why you do teams. It's like, dude, if you're not looking for that, there's 100 other series, man. Like, weird that one series is trying to be different. And so, like, how many series do you know that you can fish in a team kayak like that? We're next to each other, just like two guys on a boat. Yeah. And so, and when you get some other guys that have come in and out, never mind. I don't want to go that far. But
but the numbers look good on teams.
What makes this whole thing so special is the bond everybody has between them. We're out there to have fun and catch fish, and that's what I've liked most about it. Everybody's out there. Nobody's hard shouldering anybody. We're all friends and having a good time.
Yeah,
keep it as laid back as possible.
This is our first year doing this. We wanted to do it for a couple years, and we literally just saw it on Facebook. You know what I mean? And like 2 years ago, I saw it.
Beginner's luck.
Because man, we're gonna do this sometime soon. We both were like, all right, man, we're doing it this year.
Yeah, well,
definitely humbling for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. Like, and my directors know this, and a lot of people I talk to like on a weekly basis is like, right, there's plenty of clubs out there that do like opens. Right. There's not even clubs, but there's just a lot of opens like Texas, their kayak clubs, they do opens, right? So they get 100, 120 anglers, right? And that's great, right? What our brand is, right? And that's why we call it Slay Nation, is because, right, we want you to be a part of a bigger community, but we're building clubs. Like, I always use this analogy. I remember being young, like 8, 9 years old, walking into a tackle shop, right? And there was always a fella that had his club jacket on. Right. And it said the name of the club on the back, maybe their name on the front patch. A club back in those olden days, it was like that guy was probably a part of that club for 15, 20, maybe 30 years. He built friendships, probably went to weddings, saw people have kids, right? Whatever. And so that's a club feeling. And that's what we're trying to build. We're not looking for the people that want to come in, honey dip, right? Oh, let me look at Joe's schedule. Ooh, I want to hop in there. That's my home body of water, right? Cash a check, right? We call it the cash and dash, right? You never see them again. They just want to cherry pick. We're not for that. That's why there's a membership. That's one reason why there's a membership, because if you pay a membership, typically, all right, people are going to be invested. All right, I'm a member. I paid this much money. Okay, I want to get all this other stuff that's included with it. I want to show up. Now you show up and you're like, damn, this group is like awesome, right? It's not cutthroat, even though everybody still fishes competitively. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That there's a difference. And like we can all go on a body of water and say, all right, I want to win this one. I want to take everybody's money. But at the end of the day, when I see you at the ramp, yo, how'd you do it? Oh man, this, that, whatever. You're high-fiving, you're cheering each other on, because it's more than just winning money, dude. You know,
man, here in Oklahoma, it goes so much further than that, because we'll be on the water and then you might be fishing a spot and somebody else is going to come right by you and ask you, how's it going, man? Are you catching anything yet?
Yeah.
And it's like, but
victims
you'll
of
always
doing
answer,
that,
man,
yeah.
we got a couple and this is what I'm catching them on. Like, and that's how it is. And so, and we get people who's like, that's not their thing. If they don't want that,
so much fun of the club is like learning all these lakes. I haven't fished any of the lakes on the roster this year.
Right.
I haven't fished one lake on the roster, so like,
and he's
learning
dominating.
the new lakes is a fun part of
That's
it.
what I said, beginner's luck, huh, Julian?
Hey, listen, my first tournament was a fluke, and you all know that.
Well, we're not really beginners. We're just new to y'all, all right? I knew the lake.
There you
I
go.
live in that boat too.
Listen, if I had a boat
There's
too.
ponds
Okay.
and everything our whole lives, but
Yeah, I like it. All right. Well, so talk about the season right now. Like, how's the season going? Like, Dustin, let's hear from you, man.
First place group right here.
Okay.
Well, we've been doing this for 4 years. So I started when we originally did. And like Joe said, we didn't know anything. Me and my original partner are out there in a Pelican boat, 120-foot water in Pumpback Mountain. And our batteries, we have no clue. So we got to call Joe to come and tow us in at the end of the tournament because we're dead. So we kind of stole from Kansas this year finally and got a little bit better boat with spot lock, so we don't have to run our wacky rig through. We can kind of stop and take that little bit of time to get first place. I think first place in June will be first place tomorrow. So
yeah,
finally, after 4 years, finally.
Oh, that's dope.
But
yeah, man. We came from a Pelican to a John boat the last 2 years and finally got a little V bottom and spot lock. So we're slowly growing and figuring out what the heck we're supposed to be doing. Partner got that Z Pro battery, so we don't have to worry about dying now. A couple times we were coming in paddling around the corner right at 2 minutes before cutoff time to try not to get penalized. So we've learned a lot in the last 4 years. So Joe just leads by example. He's laid back. When you say a laid back tournament, there's no ill attention to anything we say. It's all fun. We're on the water. Like they said, what are you catching them on? Top water. Oh crap, we should have used top. Like, it's all just knowledge and how to get better. Like, there's no ill intention on anything we do. Like, when we get done, everyone's shaking hands and praising everybody, and we're trying to learn and grow. And I think that's where it is. There's not really any bad intentions from any of us. We trash talk and we don't really cross that line where it gets personal. It's all about just growing and getting better as a group and each other getting better. So, Joe definitely leads the way, so he'll be the director for the rest of his life. He don't know that.
Yeah, we're not letting him go anywhere. He just say right where he's at.
All right, you heard it, Joe. That's it. I love it, and I love hearing stories like that because hey, we started in a Pelican, right, and now look, we're in a V bot. We got a V hole now. We got spot lock. Have spot lock. But that's the part of fishing. That's the part of fishing that makes this all so fun, right? Because you're like, damn, yo, it's time. We gotta get some giant swim baits now. We can't let Joe go out there and win. All right, we gotta get spot lock now. Does anybody have forward facing sonar yet in the club? Anybody have?
I'm gonna lay this down right now. I just went 2 days ago, and I just got the live scope to go to the 106 that I had just bought and posted and told you guys about. I went a couple days yesterday to buy it. I was like, yep, that's happening. I got the
you got the what?
I got Garmin, the live scope Panoptics.
Nice. Yeah, I just do you guys watch do you watch Bass Blast? Do you follow Bass Blaster on Instagram? Jay Kumar.
Yeah, I've watched a few
Yeah.
of the stuff.
So he like every Friday he does like an update, and I guess I don't know. There was an article. I didn't read the article, but of course Japan is always the first to like come out with something, right? But they're saying translucent baits. Like so, if you have forward-facing sonar, translucent baits show up better than colored baits, I guess, on live scope.
They ping harder. Like
there's a couple brands out there that are selling a line of baits that show up better for live scope and stuff like that. I think 6 Sense may even have a line of that now.
Oh, do they? Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh
but
yes,
like,
yeah. They just I saw that too.
Yeah,
but
that
like,
is crazy.
but think about it. Like fishing, there's always something. Just when you think, how can you come up with another bait? Like how can you come up with another this? And look at Minn Kota. Look at the trolling motor they just popped out, right? Like you're just like, holy crap! I didn't think anything could be better than friggin' an Ultrex or something, right?
Yeah.
And now they have. Now the trolling motor does everything for it's going to start tying your lures for you soon. Like, it's nuts, but that's what makes this so fun because
Dustin
you
and
always
Connor might need that.
You might need that. Why you can't keep your jigs on?
It's gonna be one of those things. He's tying his favorite jig on. He thinks it's tied up, ready to throw it. Throws it in the water, thinking that it's all straight, and goes to hit. It's not tied on,
and it just keeps flying in the air. That's right, man. Maybe I could do some videos on Palomar knots, dude.
There we go.
I could put some in your jersey bag when I mail it to you. Nice. Minn Kota Quest for the yak. Oh, okay. Here we go. See, people are chiming in. Awesome, Dwayne. Let's talk to you, man. I've posted. I don't know if it was last season or if it was the beginning of this season when you won Big Bass. It might have been this season. You might have been one of. When we did
I've
the
done
Heat
that
Me Hot
twice.
Seat.
I've done it once this season and once last. Yeah,
that's what I thought. And somebody, I don't know if it was Joe, but I was like, why does that? Like the fish was like a 20-something incher, and I'm like, why does the fish look so small? And someone's like, oh, Dwayne's like 7 feet tall, dude. So is that how tall are you?
I'm actually between 6'10", 6'11".
Did you play basketball? What did you do with this height? Please tell me.
What I do with this height? Ride motorcycles, chase women, and fish.
At least he's honest.
That's what I've done, man.
Else from you.
Oh, man.
There's a lot more to say. A blonde or a man standing there sweating with a round ball. You pick it.
Okay. True. Listen, So, all right. Who can tell me who does Dwayne sound like? What famous actor does he sound like? I know what.
Johnny Cash. I don't know.
No.
He kind of sounds like Sam Elliott a little bit.
Yes, that's who I think. Listening from here, dude. Sam Elliott. You seen The Big Lebowski and all that, right?
Yeah.
Well, dude. Right? Oh, sick. 6'11". Jesus Christ, man. Good for you. So Dwayne.
Not really, man. Not really. High center of gravity, rocky boat, fall out.
That's true. That's true. No kayak for you, man.
You look over across the lake and occasionally see him just.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's a spotlight thing. You shut down that 36-volt Ultrex all at once, it stops in a hurry.
Oh, I bet. That's sick, man. But getting back, like when I posted that when we posted you for Heat Your Meat Hot Seat, I don't know if it was somebody who's related to you. I don't know if it was your daughter or somebody, and they're like, look, somebody was like, oh, my dad, look, Dad, you're famous or something. There was somebody was like,
that was my daughter.
That was your daughter.
So she collects memorabilia from all of my fishing tournaments and all of my music. She's been doing that since she was about 2 years old.
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah,
that's
I
awesome.
don't have it. She does.
She keeps it. All right.
Yeah.
She's got your favorite baits. We know. So if we hear that you're breaking into her house, now we know why. You're trying to get your baits back.
Yeah, no doubt. Because she'd take them too, I'll tell you.
She's selling them on eBay. You better be careful, man. So Dwayne, how long? So have you been tournament fishing for a while?
Yes, sir. I started tournament fishing in 1981.
Jesus Christ, that's when I was born, dude.
Started, just made my way up and thought I'd get, rich and famous just like everybody. And it turns out that a whole lot like my music, the traveling and the touring, being a truck driver, I was tired. And the sponsors want more out of you than I wanted to do, so I quit. I went to fish for a little small boat tournament in southern Oklahoma, and Jacob, the guy I fished with, we stood 10 foot from him, watched him cheat on Lake Eufaula. We drove off and we found Joe's post about Slay Nation on the way in from Eufaula, and we joined the following evening, and we ain't looked back since. This is one of the best organizations I've ever fished with.
Oh,
Yep.
that's great.
Yes, sir.
It's nice, you man. That's nice. What did the team do? How did they cheat? What did they do?
Weighing dead fish.
Oh, gotcha.
Stiff, dead white fish.
Yep. And nobody
and
said
we was
nothing.
10 foot from them, and they was the directors.
Oh.
Yeah, that's real bad.
Yeah, can't be doing that.
Yeah, we didn't catch a fish, muddy water. So we was, I don't know, like I said, about 10, 12 foot. And we never hooked nothing other than white bass. They come over there after the weigh. They come over there and handed us rods and said, "Oh, y'all place second." We didn't place nothing. We didn't catch a fish.
Yeah.
So we left and never looked back.
Wow. You know, it's funny, like cheating, no matter, like cheating is always coming. It's like it's still coming up, right? Like, I don't know if you guys follow the MLF stuff that's going on now, where, guys you're not supposed to be sight fishing or, foul hooking, and they weren't even bringing the fish over the gunnel. They were unhooking them before they brought the fish on the deck.
Oh, wow.
And they have the camera guys, right? Like if you go, so I just listened to, so you guys listen to Luke Duncan at all? LBL, Low Budget Live podcast? So listen to that. They brought James Watson on. They talked about it. It's been a talk of the town like this last week and a half. And then I listened to Dave Mercer's podcast yesterday. He had Gerald Swindle on on Monday or Tuesday, and they talk about it. And they're like, these guys are cheating live on camera, and nothing's being done about it yet.
Wow.
And just again, it's some these are big names, and it's just, it goes to show you. And Gerald Swindle makes a really good point. He says, hey, if you're going to cheat in front of people, what are you doing when no one's looking? Right? What are you doing when no one's looking? Like, how long has this been going on? It's like, it's just, you hate to say it. People are just, desperate for that dollar to do that. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Damn. Well, we're glad you're with us, Dwayne. And
thank you.
And Jacob.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, man. So Team Shake and Bake, man. What's the? You guys fish together, obviously, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're the team, right? So what? Have you fished as a team before? Have you been in a team format?
Other than just standing on the pond bank, that's about it.
Yeah.
So how do you like fishing as a team? Like what are the pros? What are the cons? I don't know if there's cons, but sometimes there are.
We've been friends since 10, 15 years probably. So we've been fishing together forever. So he bought a duck boat last year, and we're like, well, it's time to do this, man. So man, it's been so fun, man. It's been great. I actually bought a vessel as well now that I'm rigging out that I ain't gonna tell none of y'all about. We'll see it probably next season. So
secret.
So we're gonna be coming out with something different probably next year, maybe even later this season. But
we may unveil a new one next year ourselves, so we look forward to it.
Oh,
hell yeah!
Yeah, well, me and Jerry are coming out with a new. No, we're not.
They're tying their kayaks together.
Yeah. New pontoon.
Well, I'm not sure we're going to build one, but we've got a plan for it. We'll see.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
That's dope. So Team Shake and Bake. Who catches the majority of the fish in this team?
Christian's been holding us together for I'm the net man this season. I guess.
I was gonna say I'm a net man myself sometimes, man.
Well, it's been we go out to practice. We'll go practice, and he will catch every fish in practice. I won't catch a fish, and then the next morning, I'll end up getting the majority of the keeper.
Yeah, for sure.
He'll take us out. We need to go try this spot, and this spot, and then all right, he'll catch a fish or two there. We're like, all right, we're gonna go there, and then I'll end up catching them the next day.
He's warming them up. That's all. That's what you got to say. I'm warming them up, setting you up, son.
Yeah,
he's an assist man. I like that.
Well,
right? Even Pippen and Jordan.
At this point.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's been fun for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Been
Good.
a learning experience.
So
Like
I gotta
we
say
really
that
haven't
these are the
beat
guys.
states whatsoever. So it's been kind of a.
Mm-hmm.
The first few tournaments were definitely humbling. We made a few mistakes and kind of learned from them and went on from that and kind of made progress.
Yeah,
sure.
so we, as you probably know, Oklahoma switched to a 10-inch minimum. So we got the very first tournament, we looked on the website and said 12-inch minimum. Yep. So we threw back 3 or 4 10-inch fish that we could have counted. And to be honest, that would put us in first place overall right now for the season. So, but that we messed up there big time. And then, next tournament we caught a couple fish and then we moved. You never leave biting fish. That's the second thing we learned like pretty quick. Yep. And then we kind of just followed that.
What's up, Paul?
What was that?
No, saying what's up to Paul. Paul Reed showed up.
Paul Reed. Yep.
Paul Reed.
No, and we kind of just put that into play.
Learn from our mistakes, each one. And each one just kept going. Yeah. Figured it out after a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that 10-inch minimum.
Gary taught me.
I mean, you don't want to turn into 10-inch fish, but if you got to, you got
to. At least get you 5 10-inch fish and then go try to find something different.
Well, the 10-inch minimum was a rule I enforced with my clubs in Connecticut. And the reason behind a 10-inch minimum was because, right, we get a lot of new novice anglers, right? And so when you think about it, let's just say we did keep it a 12-inch minimum. And, right, a 10-inch fish is not big, right? But you get new teams that are able to put some kind of points on the board, they're going to come back, right? Yeah. If they show up first, second event, and they just can't get that 12-inch, maybe they catch nothing, they're going to get discouraged real quick. Now, you don't want that. You want to build a club, right? You want retention
every season.
And exactly. And so that's why. So like, I remember when we added a director that's no longer with Slay Nation complained about it. Oh, well, you're never going to see a 10-incher and a winning stringer. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Right. But it's not for the winning team. Right. It's for everybody else to compete. Right. And still want to be a part of the club and keep showing up. So we added a 10-inch minimum. So, we give each club discretion to say, hey, do you want to implement it? And there was some pushback from some people like, why would I? Well, here's why. Here's why you want to do it. Because we want to be inclusive. And who cares if no first place team generally has a 10-incher in their bag. Right.
Right.
That generally don't, right? Unless you're fishing, like we have one lake in Connecticut. It's like our Dink Fest. You catch tons of fish. They're all 10 inches to 15 inches. It's a great tournament day because everybody catches a limit, and like big bass is like 11 and a quarter. Like it's nuts. But I'm not even lying. It's Winchester Lake. It's an awesome lake, and like you hear someone go, "Whoa!" You're like, all right, they must have caught a 14-incher today, boys. Like that's big bass. Yeah. But the 10-inch minimum, it goes for keeping people interested and excited because, Joe will know as a director because he'll have his director lens on. You get a newer team that comes in, right? And when someone's like pretty fresh, right? You just know. You could either just look at what they have set up. You could just tell they're new. Nothing against them. You could tell they're new. Sure, you might be like, ooh, I don't know. I'm not going to like give any advice. Let them go out and learn at first. And then they come in and say, hey, I caught 3 fish. I got 30 points. I got 30 inches, 30 points for AOI right now. Right. They're going to want to come back. And that's why some of our clubs, we implement a 10-inch minimum for that reason is because you're right. You want to keep people. I coach basketball and soccer and all that. Right. And I always tell my players, hey, you got to set up your teammate for success. What do you mean? Give a good bounce pass, give a good chest pass, not to their shoelaces. So as directors, we want to set up our slayers for success, right? And then, the people that are good, they're not going to be catching all the 10-inchers, but you'll be happy. There's always going to be a term where you're like, Joe, thank God there's a 10-inch minimum. I needed that fish, right? There's always going to be a tournament like that.
Too many times.
Right, dude? Please. So nice, man. Well, I'm glad to hear you guys are having a good time. Wait, hold on a second. What does it say here? What if you're a veteran still catching 10-inch bass? Tips. Any tips? Any tips for a veteran? Stop fishing. No, I'm just kidding.
No, don't stop fishing. Keep fishing.
Honestly, here's a tip I learned from people that are like veteran fishermen, right? Whatever. I know a lot of good anglers up in this area that fish like these national kayak trails, all that, is downsize your bait. Sometimes just downsize your bait, right? You'll catch more fish, right? Up here in the Northeast, we're all about finesse fishing, right? I don't know, like we'll talk about it in a minute, but like I'm gonna have you guys touch upon like Oklahoma, like fishing. Like is it like more finesse fishing? Is it power fishing?
Mixed,
is it?
man.
It's what?
It's straight mix.
It's a complete mix. Different time of year.
It
depends on where you're
One minute
fishing.
you could be throwing a jerk bait in the middle of the summer, and the next you could just throw in a Cinco and catching fish.
Yeah.
That's how.
Is the little brown jig, is that still like a staple in Oklahoma fishing? Everybody, I remember listening to. Do you guys ever listen to Bass Talk Live? Mark Jeffries?
Like back in the day.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not really specific to that anymore.
Okay.
But for the most part, jigs tear them up no matter where you go here. And like you're still gonna stick to your mostly your greens, your green pumpkins, your watermelon red flakes. Like you gotta have those in your colors if you're gonna fish in Oklahoma.
Yeah, and the water clarity
now,
changes so much.
Yes.
It'll be red one day and then clear the next day, and we get all this crazy wind. I remember our first tournament, I think, during Springs. I mean, we showed up there the day before, and it was white cap, and we're like, all right, we're not going to get any time on this water.
Oh, yeah. We got out there. We're sleeping in our trucks.
Julian's got something to say about that as well.
Oh, yeah. Here's a little story for that one. That tournament was the second tournament of the season. And the first one, I was alone. Actually, my father-in-law had something come up, and that's my actual partner is my father-in-law. He happened to come out with the second one finally, and I had told him what people had, like kayak-wise, boat-wise, and he's like, he has a Yukon, okay, like a lifetime Yukon, not the biggest kayak, but we started rigging it out with a trolling motor on the back, putting batteries back there. Problem is, father-in-law's a bigger set man, so that's a lot of weight on one kayak, and the back end is a little toteful. So we were fishing, didn't catch anything, cold, early morning wind. It was not the best fishing that morning.
Hold on 1 second. Is that somebody's wife? You look great, babe.
Oh, that's my wife. Yes.
Okay. There you go.
That's my wife.
Okay. You may continue.
So as we're fishing and going along and whatnot, he has his trolling motor going, and he was just cutting along. He's power fishing and everything else, so forth. But he didn't realize that his anchor had fallen off, and it finally caught. And so when it caught, it took him over all the way, an 8 foot width of water. He's bouncing on his toes. But the funny thing is, when he popped up, he's like, "What the hell happened?" And then I got him the automatic, inflators. So all of a sudden, you just see and him just like this the whole time, staying above the water, like floating there, like, "Get me the fuck out of this water." It's cold as shit. So like I immediately knew as I'm sitting there in my kayak, just looking, seeing what's happening, going, "Yeah, we're going home." We're definitely going home.
Right. Oh my God, that's it. He kicked you out of the family after that, huh?
No. He got more inspired to tune it up. So actually, after that fact, the third tournament, he had 2 pontoons on the side of his boat so that it stayed more firmed in the back. So don't get me wrong. After about a month or so, I was saving up money to actually get me a new kayak. So I got a native watercraft, Slayer 12.5 Max, and so now he uses my Pescador Pilot 12. For a pedal drive now, so he can borrow that because I don't want him to sink again.
He pulled out a big bass of the day this year.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. Yes, yeah, he also pulled out a big bass as well.
One
My father-in-law.
likes to fish.
That was the different one.
Greenleaf, wasn't it?
Was it Greenleaf? It was Greenleaf the one before that one. Or
that was McGee Creek.
McGee Creek, yeah.
Yeah.
John caught the
and his name's David Madden, so he's watching. Yeah, his name's David Madden.
Oh, okay. What's like your banger lake that's on the list for your schedule? Like, what is like the one lake everybody is like so excited? Is there?
So it's all over the place, man.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of all over the place. Like
hit or miss.
Because like Dustin Clark would say that it's
Dripping Springs. Yes.
I would say that it's Greenleaf.
Okay.
Dwayne would say,
Greenleaf,
you know,
I
and
liked
so-
Greenleaf a lot. It was one of my favorites, man. But you know,
Yeah.
that
Greenleaf's
was
a
a
nice
fun
lake.
lake.
It's just hell to catch fish out of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are these like deep lakes? You guys get
I-
like?
I
Some
like
of them
Skytip
are,
Lake.
Some of them aren't.
Okay.
So we're gonna fish one called Chimney Rock. The locals call it Pumpback because it piggybacks off of another main lake. But this lake is in the mountain or it's in the hills, and so it can be 120, 150 foot deep in some
Yeah.
places.
Are there trout?
So-
you guys trout fish in Oklahoma? Is there
No,
trout?
a little more
Yeah,
stock.
like
Very
Broken
Bow.
northeast Oklahoma. There are.
Yeah,
Okay.
Broken.
Okay.
They stocked Broken Bow. I think was it like
Painkiller has trout below the dam.
I tore them up in Branson earlier this
Yeah, I
week.
saw that, yeah.
Okay,
White
check
Good
that
Eating
out.
their
stuff. That was
seats.
nice looking fish too, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was.
Yeah, we
Nice.
caught
Y'all
30
kept
40
all-
trout probably. Do
Really?
what, Joe?
Y'all kept all those?
No. They had a weird slot limit, man. 12 to 20 inch we couldn't keep. So in that
Oh.
certain area, and then we went down further where you could keep them, and we kept probably 10 of them. We fried up some fish tacos and all that stuff, man. It was good.
Man, you make me
Ooh.
hungry.
Straight out of the freaking clear water, man. It was like 15 foot deep. You could see the bottom. It was awesome.
Yes.
Man, that's water up here in Northeast. Like if you go to Maine, like Maine is like, or like Lake George, parts of Lake George. Like I've went on a family vacation years ago. I mean, probably like 15, 20 years ago on Lake George. And I still have the same kayak. It's a Pelican sit-in. And I remember going out. I mean, I could, no lie, I thought I could see like 40, 50 feet deep, like clear as like an aquarium.
Yeah.
You know what I
Wow.
mean? And I mean, that's tough water to fish when it looks like that, but it's so cool looking because that's, you don't see that often places.
No, especially
Well,
in
we-
No, we're
Oklahoma,
lucky.
man.
if
We
Jack
never
Potter
seen that.
Joe-
Yeah, we got mud.
Hey,
Yeah.
we fishing a jackpot on Uchi, Joe.
I think that's the the August one.
That is a clear lake.
Yeah.
And
it
I've
is.
seen water in there about
That's true.
28
So is
foot.
Spavinaw. Spavinaw's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't as clear as Uchi.
Okay. Are you guys Edwin Ever fans? You guys like Edwin? Is he like
Oh,
the
yeah.
Oklahoma King?
I watch a lot of Ben
Yeah, I like
Milliken
it.
and
When actually I know
Royal.
him, so
Nice.
I met him once.
A cool story. Remember when Edwin Evers won the Bassmaster Classic? He was using a jig, right? And he was like fishing that one laydown or something. He was using an Andes custom jig, which that guy's out of Connecticut. That company's out of Connecticut. And the night after Edwin Evers won the Bassmaster Classic, this guy looked, logged into his PayPal for the company, whatever. He had $1 million worth of sales and jigs
Wow.
after Edwin Evers win.
Wow.
Yeah. He was they were a sponsor of ours when we did the you guys remember that KFL thing? It was the kayak teams and like
Oh yeah.
different states had teams. I think Jerry Thigh was on a team, Oklahoma
Jerry
Outlaws. or
T.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I forgot his name now. David. He's on it too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's I just remember talking to Andy about that, and he was like, "Yeah, the next day, I saw $1 million sitting in PayPal sales from jigs because of Edwin Evers because he was using his jigs." I don't know. Every time I think of Oklahoma, I think of that story.
That's a good way to get there.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Now Edwin Evers has moved way on, but awesome. So. Real quick, I guess, Joe, is there anything you guys want to cover at all about anything before the next question?
There's no extra question. I mean, like, you're the greatest state for Slay Nation there is. That's all I can say.
Oh, damn.
Sorry, Texas.
Okay. All right. You know what? Texas doesn't even have a trail no more, y'all. We canceled it, to be honest with you. We canceled it this year just because of what happened last year, and it was just...
It's hard to recover from something like that, man.
Yeah, it is hard to recover when someone screws it up, right? It was a director we got rid of, and that club had that club had almost 70 members in it, all good dudes until some shady stuff was going down that I was told about. And then we had a new director who was a great guy, but people just weren't signing up and showing up to the tournaments, and he only had like 6 members, so we ended up canceling it. But we're looking to do something different, way out of because Texas has so many kayak clubs right now, right? And they're huge, right? And they got some really good clubs. I know a lot of people that fish those clubs or those opens, whatever they are. we're going to look to do something totally different. Maybe
have they considered going to a team kayak series? Because I know that that's something that sets us apart.
Having both.
Yeah, that's something we can talk about. I just almost feel like with our Texas stuff, we almost got to just like start brand spanking new. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's literally what we have to do in Texas right now is just like scratch everything off, just come outside with something that's totally different than anything else being offered. And like we might do a small vessel series, but a catfishing tournaments, right?
Right.
That's what I'm thinking that we might do. Like there's
Julian will be good in that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, every tournament I've been to so far, I've caught a
catching
catfish. On a crankbait, a wacky rig, I'll end up catching a catfish.
Damn, son.
But see, that's what we're trying to do to separate ourselves too, is that we have brought in like the whole team kayak series or the whole team kayak thing along with the boat thing. That sets us apart. And I'm complete opposite of online as possible. Like we do as live boat as possible. We still do tournament codes that all the anglers pick live right there. So there's no cheating there, you know? And so like we've mitigated things like that. And so that's where we try to be different.
Yep.
And I would say that team aspect kind of helps, like the 10-inch. You see those numbers more as a team. And I think that because we went team, then solo, then back to team. And when you see those numbers, it does help you keep going, help you keep fishing, and it doesn't discourage you as much.
Well, it gives you a chance to come back.
Yeah, well, it does, because think about it. When, like, for those of y'all that have been fishing with a teammate, let's just say you're having like a pretty shitty morning. You're not catching nothing, right? And then 10 o'clock rolls around. Your teammate catches a fish. What's the first thing you're doing? You're fist pumping each other. You're high-fiving. Let's go. You're like, yo, you're up next, man. And Dwayne, it's your turn right now, okay? Next fish is you, dog, right? And you're fishing. You get number 2 in the boat. Let's go.
Yeah, you start doing the countdown, like, all right, come on, we got the first one, 4 more.
Yeah,
4 more.
that's what I'm saying. And, right, there's nothing like fishing with a teammate, man. It's just so fun. It's so fun fishing as a team.
I don't want to be sitting there 7 hours by myself. I really don't. No. Especially if I'm not catching anything. And if it's a time where me and Jerry aren't catching anything, at least we're not catching anything together. Or we're having the greatest conversation ever.
We got somebody to bitch at.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm on with it.
Wait, who commented that? Hold on.
Ain't that the truth? Everybody needs to vent.
Next year, Max Lee. Maybe.
Oh, Max Limit, come to Cali. That's our Cali director, Dave Newens. It was our first year doing a kayak series in California. There's a lot, not a lot, but there's some bigger style kayak clubs out in the West there. And so I guess, Dave was, it's like anytime you're a new kid on the block, there's always going to be some kind of haters, right? That's just whatever. It's the territory.
I've seen his numbers though, man. He is killing it out there.
Dude, he's got 107 members.
Yeah.
Like 107 members. Like, dude, that's how you know you're doing something right, Dave.
That's a lot of highs and handshakes every morning at the tournament.
Yeah. Right, dude? I know. If you're a kisser, you're having chapped lips before the tournament begins. Right? If you're a kisser, what's up?
I gotta give that French love. All right.
Yeah, you're getting blisters from all those dads.
You're gonna get high five to death.
That's what I'm saying. But that's like, it's because one, he does a really good job promoting, but he also does a good job and the other thing is, his club is attracting really experienced anglers and lots of newbies, right? And if you can mesh both of those together, you're going to have something really good going on, right? You need that. You need that. You need tournament fishing to become fun again. We're not fishing for thousands of dollars. We're fishing for like $200 to $600. You know what I mean?
That's what's so crazy about seeing I've been kind of looking in some other tournament series and stuff, and just the way that people are talking on there is crazy, man. Like, compared to looking at us,
honestly, it would just be
it's so friendly. I mean, everyone's so cool. That was the thing. Like when we walked up to the first one, we're kind of just like moseying around the boat ramp, kind of trying to make eye contact with people. And by the end of the day, we're like, all right, dude, we're gonna go see all these guys next tournament, man. It's gonna be so fun. I can't wait to see these guys.
Yeah,
right.
That's how it felt for me.
Yeah, it wasn't
at the second tournament, I felt a little better.
Y'all made it feel like home right away, man. It was great.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's all about.
That's always good to hear.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. I'll never forget. I'll never forget before I started Slay Nation, I fished big boat tournaments, right? I fished in a draw trail, the ABA, American Bass Anglers in Connecticut. And I was the only non-boater in the club, right? It was all guys that owned really good boat. You guys know who Paul Mueller is? He fishes the Bassmaster Elite Series now,
Mm-hmm.
right? So so this is the club he used to fish in with us. And I was the only non-boater, this was years ago. And like, the boat, I can always see, like, they always had to draw a number to see whose boat I was going on, right? I'm that dude showing up out of my car with 8 rods and a backpack. And like, you could see everybody was hesitant to draw a number because they didn't want to fish with someone else, right? And so that discouraged me a little bit, right? I was like, yo, I'm going to go on a boat with some guy that doesn't even want me there. Like, I just spent $120 to enter. Like, it's going to be a pretty crummy day for me, right? And that happened a few times. The very first guy I ever fished with, his name was Frank. Right? First tournament I ever competed in, right? He goes, don't touch my gel coat. Like the gel coat on the fiberglass boats, right? Like the clear coat on your, he goes, don't touch it. And I was like, all right, all right, bro. I won't touch it. Like I hopped into his boat, and I just making sure I didn't touch it. He's like, no, he's like, don't put your stuff next to my rods. I'm like, so immediately I'm like, yo, what? I almost like walked off his boat. Like, what am I? This is going to be, I'm going to be miserable. Right. And so I fished the tournament and like do you guys know Kitech lures?
Oh,
Kitech?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the USA Kitech, right? The owner, I forgot his name. I think it was Mike something. We're fishing Candlewood Lake. That's our pristine lake up here. And we bump into him. And this guy, Frank, knew him. And he was like, yeah, I'm fishing some club. I got this guy back here I'm trying to teach to catch fish. And he's saying this right in front of me. And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to teach all these other guys how to catch fish.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
wow.
this guy wasn't even doing well. He was just a prick. And this is my first experience tournament fishing. I'm like, yo,
Oh, no.
is this what tournaments are like? Dead serious. And so I had to take a piss. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I can't piss off his boat. I'm going to probably tinkle on his gel coat, right? So I had an empty Powerade bottle, a big Powerade bottle. So I pissed in it, right? And I pissed in the Powerade bottle. I had it, right? And I filled it up to the max, and then I closed it and I put it. He had an empty, like, extra storage system, and he put it in. And the tournament ends, and I just wanted to leave at that point. I caught nothing, and I just wanted to leave. I was like, to
You
the
left
director,
it?
Did you? I'm gonna say I'm not.
so I get in my car, I'm driving home, and I'm looking for it. I'm like, yo, where's the? I'm like, I left it in his boat, and I said, you know what? Fuck him.
I'm thirsty.
Should have.
He might think it's lemon lime. I don't know, dude. So I'm praying he took a little sip. But that was my first tournament experience in the big boat world, and I was like, dude, that's I'm not for nothing. I was like, that sucked.
Yeah.
That sucked. That wasn't fun. I wasn't you know what I mean? I don't care if I didn't catch fish. I was fishing with a prick.
that makes
straight up,
anything
dude.
bad.
Yeah.
And then I would draw other guys' boats who were like, that's when I really started learning. One guy, Chris Bueller, he works for Shimano. He's high up for Shimano now. He was the first guy I saw with a wrapped boat. And he had, like, do you guys remember when 360 came out? Like on the 360 came out. He was the first guy, like in Connecticut anyway, that had it. He had his whole boat wrapped, his truck, Shimano. So when you see that pull up to a ramp, you're like, dude, this guy's professional. And this guy was he was like, to me, like fishing with Kevin Van Dam. And we're idling out, right? And he's like, all right, Frank, I got a hump that I've been fishing on. He's like, there's fish waiting for us there. So that's when I never knew how do these guys know fish are there, right? I never understood that. And I was like, Chris, I was like, I'm going to ask questions. I'm like, yo, how do you know fish are there? So he's laughing. He's like, well, one, I've been fishing here like all my life, 25, 30 years with my dad. So we know where these fish set up season by season. Plus he's like, I was pre-fishing, so I know they're there waiting for us. We got out to the spot. He's like, you got any flukes? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, cast straight ahead about 25 feet, right? Give it 2 twitches, let it dead stick. He put me on a limit in 30 minutes, right?
Dude.
And that was the difference between a guy like that and a guy like I had my first experience. And then that's what kept me going, because someone like was nice. It took the time, and he ended up winning the whole thing. He won the whole event, but he still gave time to help me out and make sure I had something to bring into the table. Right. So that's what it sounds like y'all are doing with each other in Oklahoma.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I remember Kansas a couple times the guy would forget a plug, or we would have missing boards, and the Kansas team would say, "Hey, we got an extra plug. Hey, we got," and this is us competing against each other, not even teammates, and just that Oklahoma feeling of just helping each other out. Definitely, every team is there to help every team get better in every aspect. If you're missing something, lose something, like everybody's got everybody's back. When the time starts, it's a little bit different, but once the time's over, like we're all back together.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely, that's what it's all about. So, so right now, Oklahoma, because I know you guys have, right? What's the summer like in Oklahoma, and how's summer fishing in Oklahoma? Like, does it
Right
suck?
now it's 105.
Been outside in like 4 days.
105.
Yeah,
So
today.
here's the reason. This is the reason why we did a split season, is because last year it was about the same. It was consistently 105, 110 degrees, bluebird skies, and still it'd be windy at first, and then there'd be no wind, and so you got nothing, and you're just baking all day, and we got no rain, so the lakes were just draining. The fishing wasn't good, and so this year we're kind of like, well, why don't we take a gap to where if it's too hot, if we're not having a good summer, then people don't have to fish, and it's not going to count against them, but we're still going to do events to where not only can our guys still fish if they want, but we can also bring in some extra dudes because they're all open jackpots now.
I like that.
And so it's kind of like the best of both worlds, where taking a break, but at the same time we're getting more people. So far it's actually worked out. And so it's kind of like you have a first half and then a second half. So you can kind of switch gears, see what didn't work in the first half. Although it's Oklahoma, what worked in the first half is not going to work now.
Yeah, exactly.
I really like that idea. I like that idea because Nevada does that too. And I'm not sure if Cali's doing that or does that because it's our first year, but Nevada, like AJ does that because it gets so hot in Nevada, right? Like you're talking like your weather or hotter. And so they take a gap, but I think that's a really good idea for like those states that have a summer like that, where you still are holding like open style events. You could still meet up and still fish. The points don't count, but you're still getting together fishing. I think that's a really smart idea because it keeps the club alive. It keeps like, you're right. Keeps that momentum going. I like that idea. We don't have to do it in Connecticut. I mean, it gets hot, but not like that.
No, it gets hot.
You know what I mean?
This is our third day, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's to the point where you go outside and you're maybe doing something for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and you're actually getting lightheaded from the heat because it's that draining.
Yeah. Are you guys getting any of that smoke? Do you guys get any of that smoke from the Canadian fires?
No.
That's too far away.
I haven't seen any.
Gotcha. I'm just curious because I know they said it was
we get
like Connecticut. We get it. We got it. We got it today, and then 2 weeks ago it was like really bad. Did you see those pictures of New York City?
Oh, yeah.
How bad they had it?
And I think I saw a picture of Chicago too.
It was like it looked like apocalypse. Like it was kind of scary.
The funny thing is when that happened too, and if you guys actually, I play a lot of video games, obviously set up right here, but
yeah, what is that?
Diablo, desktop, but I put it all together myself. But I played Diablo, and the funny thing is, the same time Diablo released like full on for everybody in the world, that's when the smoke rolled into New York, and so they had the giant logo of Lilith, like a demonic Lilith, just on the billboard, and it's all the whole New York just looks scary itself. So everyone's like, this is a sign, because the release date was 6/6/2023.
Dude, all right, get out of here. Are you a conspiracy theorist?
I know. I'm just unplanned thoughts.
Dude, oh my God. All right. So Max Lee is one of our Cali kayak members, and he was the one that mentioned Oklahoma looks like a good time. I will try to make a trip out there. So it's 102 right now.
If it's like, I can go out there for a week and go to San Diego.
Cali's hot too. Yeah, of course.
It was 107 yesterday. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, guys. That's like not good. That I'm sure that depletes the oxygen in the water.
Yeah.
Well,
quite a bit.
Our lakes are almost empty anyway. We're losing water exponentially, and we ain't getting none to put back in them. Not up in the northeast end.
Yeah, I would say.
It's like y'all are going through what Cali was going through, like, a year or two ago, where like lakes were almost like completely dried out, which is scary.
that was last year, man. Last year
Yeah.
was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, that's scary. Like when you think about it, right? And then the climate and everything else and like all this weather, like as far as like fishing goes, right? Like we're so like like dependent on the environment, right? And the weather, right? Like it's kind of crazy how it's something we love, our passion, our hobby. It's so dependent on that weather where, if it's 105, 107 degrees and it's been like that a few days and you got water, right, depleting out of lakes. It's like, you're like, damn, this is why it's so important to try to take care of it when you can too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you're just like so like from us up here, we're never going to probably go through that, right? We don't go through that kind of heat. So like our lakes are fine. They draw them on purpose, right? To build docks and whatever else they got to do. But that water gets filled right back up when they open up the pipe or dams. But like, damn, I didn't realize it was like that in Oklahoma. I'll be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was tired. So
Some
See,
Our
the
local lake.
kids are upset about it. They don't like it.
Yeah, they don't like it either. Christian
my
Space
daddy,
pushed out. He
my
looks like
daddy's
he's
on
just came from
live.
outside.
Daddy,
Yeah.
where's my
Y'all
baba?
give it a couple years, man. He's gonna be out there whooping on y'all. I ain't
Yeah.
How
I'm
old?
shoot.
How
I'm gonna have
old?
to bring my 4-year-old out.
Yeah, he's gonna be coming with me in a couple years.
How old's the little one?
3 years old.
3. All right. There
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
I got 5 and 8.
So
Five
look,
and eight.
we already got our young generation of Oklahoma, Slay Nation.
Oh yeah, we got
there you go.
generations of Slayers, man. Let's do it.
I love it, dude. Keep popping them out, baby. Keep popping them
Yeah.
out.
I'm good. I
Just
got
make
3.
sure they know how to catch, photo, release. All right,
Three.
catch, photo, release. Okay,
Yep,
because
CPR.
still see mistakes with that. So, how about that? You guys got anybody in the club like who's been in the like?
my
I still have a
gosh,
guy.
dude.
I still have a guy. It's my buddy's dad. He still measures the fish wrong, and I'm like, dude, I have to make decals just for him. Like, you guys still have that? You break their balls.
So I just got my father-in-law the actual catch board for him to have on his own because we've been sharing one, and I take picture because it's easier for that way.
Yeah.
And so I finally gave him that catch board, and actually at the last tournament he went to go shoot that picture of what he caught, and he was like, his mouth was open. He's like, oh, it's just a little bit open and whatnot. I was like, yeah, no, it has to be shut there.
It's all right. I'll learn. Just teach him to push it up against the bump fence. He'll be all right. All right. Oh, that's funny. I did basic at Fort still in the. I did basic at Fort still.
Fort Sill.
Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
So they know about,
yeah, I went to Still. It's auto-corrected.
You
Fort
Fort
Sill.
Sill.
Elmer Thomas.
Being stationed there and actually
Yeah,
being
Elmer
out there is
Thomas,
like
that's,
actually working in the
right
desert.
next to it, backs
Yeah.
up to
So
it.
That's our next jackpot, I think, is Elmer Thomas.
Elmer Thomas, yeah.
And I'm gonna be at that one talking about smoke. Y'all gonna get the smoke at that one.
I got the live scope. We're gonna get the smoke too. All right, I gotta see these fish now.
Okay. Yeah, you got to learn how to use that live scope.
I've been watching a lot of tutorials.
Oh, come on.
Been watching the bitches.
Dude, I can fix my brakes. I've been watching YouTube.
I've been watching YouTube. Got it.
Yeah.
That's funny. Nice. All right. Well, we're at like the hour. We're at a little bit of an hour mark. I don't want to keep you all too late. But like, I guess I'll ask a question. We'll just go around the table here, and then you give your answer. So, let's see. I gotta ask a good one here. All right. So it'll be like a two-part question. Okay. If you could fish with anybody, who would it be? It could be somebody from the who's passed, or who is still around, obviously, or back in history, whatever you want to call it, right? Who would you like to fish with that you have never fished with before? And what's your favorite style? Like, what's your bread and butter, right? Your go-to, tied on the deck every tournament, right? Regardless if it's right or wrong to use, I always have a jig on, even when I know I shouldn't be using it, but it's always on, black and blue. All right, so let's start with you, Julian.
All right, my honest person I want to fish with is Christian, because he's like, I don't know, he's been ripping so much lip that I at least need to win one in this series. Okay, that's the person I want to fish with, or Colton. They have a nice boat, by the way. That's the whole reason why. Now, my style of fishing, I actually like using the jerkbait quite a lot. Deep diving or shallow specifically. That's my technique. So
nice. All right, Joey boy, how about you?
So for me, I would fish with Jesus because he would tell me to throw like where to cast, and
He's a
I'm
fisherman.
never losing the current
He's a fisherman.
Oh yeah.
because he is going to tell me where to go.
Okay.
But,
He doesn't.
It's gonna be
Joe?
in the most.
Man, he'll
Hey,
just be
hey,
walking
listen.
around,
You
dude.
know how Jesus?
I'm not
you
sure
know how, like,
that's
God and Jesus
not
will do the
cheating.
same thing as saying like
but
they
it
can
ain't
only
cheating
guide
at all.
you.
It won't ever
They would have to
cheat.
guide you. It's at that
Take
point
them
where you have
everywhere
to
I go.
catch them
But,
yourself.
I think I'd have to say same. Two things for me. One's a fluke and one's a jig. I've always had a fluke tied on. Always have a fluke tied on. And
I knew we
I've
were
always got
brothers. I knew we were brothers. You
Right?
just have a better tan.
Yeah, man. Come down south. Come down south.
I'm jigging fluke. I'm
You gotta
jigging
get
fluke.
that 105-degree sun.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
But
I can. I don't mind. I
man.
like heat. I like heat, but I'll have
You're
to
not
check
gonna
out
like this heat.
105. Yeah. All right. I changed my mind. All right, Dustin. How about you?
I got to go with Kevin Van Dam.
Yes.
Especially even this series, just watching them tear them up on crankbait out of nowhere in the middle of the lake. Like, that's where probably the worst we are at fishing, me and my teammates. So we stay on the bank with that wacky rig, stays tied on.
Okay. Listen, straight up, I think right now is like the year of the wacky rig, right? I swear. Like a lot of these major wins are coming off wacky rig, kayak anglers. Like you always have a wacky rig on. So wacky rig is like a staple, man. Like
For 4 years, yeah, we've been using it for about 4 years, and it never fails.
It never fails.
But
It's amazing.
yeah, we got to learn how to fish the middle, so that's why I go with Kevin Van Dam. Show me how to fish deep.
Oh, I like that. Offshore. Okay. All right. How about Christian?
Oh man, probably Scott Martin, dude, or him or Julian. You know, we'll go fishing, Julian. It's a date.
All right. Scott Martin or Julian?
July,
all right.
That's a good balance. I like that.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
Dude, I love.
Dude, I mean, I ain't going out without a frog tied on and a swim jig.
Ooh.
You know?
Okay.
Probably like a 3 or 4 inch Kitech on a hair jig, man. That's been my leg jam forever.
Go. I love hair.
Scott Martin's like the first guy I started watching on YouTube. He's one of the people that got me into
Oh man, he's awesome.
He's good. Scott Martin is he's just like his dad, right?
Yeah.
Got the same energy, enthusiasm, great salesman. Like I don't watch a lot of YouTube fishing videos. Honestly, the only one I watch still, like every day, and he posts every week, is Roland Martin's. Roland Martin. I love his videos. The dude, he still has the same energy, right? Than like when he was, back when he was younger. Like the Martin family, that's a special family right there, man. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So Christian, what's your favorite frog? What's your favorite top order? Are you a Spro guy?
Man, any of them, dude.
Okay.
Any of them. I really just look at the belly, man. See make sure it's not just white. Look at the belly of it and what kind of
color does it need to be?
Yeah, what color? What color does it need to be? Pink.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. I dig it. All right, Colt.
I think I'm gonna go with the famous Jimmy Houston is what I'm gonna go with.
Give me some sugar.
Just because if we didn't catch any fish, I know it'd be a good time. And probably my favorite way of fishing, if they're biting, is a Texas rig. You can't go wrong watching that line go sideways.
Man, I haven't been fishing with him without a buzzbait on either, though. He's got a buzzbait on.
Buzzbait is one of the most fun ways to fish too. When they hit.
Do you leave your skirt on, or you take the skirt off the buzzbait?
Good question. Skirt off?
Oh no, I like skirt on the skirt.
Oh, I knew you were filthy, dog. I knew you were filthy.
Dirty dog.
Nice. Hey, wait, is Jimmy Houston? He's from Oklahoma, no?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's another one of the best. Think about those two guys. Think about Roland Martin, Jimmy Houston, and Bill Dance. Like, dude, they still act like they're in their 20s.
Yeah.
They still act like they're in their 20s. That's awesome. That's why they are who they are. Awesome. All right. Big Dwayne Morris.
Well, I got to go with Texas rig and buzzbait.
Yeah.
Okay. Every time. It's always on the deck. I'm always carrying it. And I'm going to go to one. I'm going to go to Hank Parker. Never fished with him, but I've listened to him. I've been to a few events he was working, and I just think he's great. I'd love to get in the boat with him and spend 8 hours.
Yeah, Hank Parker. I remember watching his show as a kid. but like he does such a good job explaining things, and like something about his voice, right? You just sit there like kind of mesmerized, and he's just so successful too. Like everything he touches turns to gold. I feel with that guy.
Well,
Hank Parker.
his casting technique's what got me to using the bait caster more effective. Just watching him, how come I can't do that? And then I got to watching him and figured it out. So he was a big influence on my casting throughout the years.
Yeah, I love it. That's a good answer. Max Lee says fish with Jesus, and he's laughing face.
Joe's already got that taken care of, Max.
I love it. I love it. Awesome, man. Well, yeah, if I can fish, I mean, because I don't even answer my own questions. But definitely the two baits I always have on are jig and fluke. Jig and a fluke. I could fish a fluke a few multiple ways, right? Like I like to nose hook it.
That's what people don't realize.
I will nose hook a fluke. I'll like with a drop shot hook, right? And I could skip it across the top, so it's like a top water bait, smallmouth. Nail that sucker. So that's one way.
That's the trick, and people don't seem to know that.
And it doesn't get hung up too much in weeds either, you know, because it's on top.
I love nose hooking mine.
Yeah, chatterbait is good, and a jig, black and blue jig.
Chatterbait with a fluke trail.
Chatterbait with a fluke trailer.
Well,
that's
so
my
you
favorite
get that
trailer.
nice erratic like pause.
You got it. Yes, if you cut like I'll cut the fluke, I'll trim the fluke down,
always
right? Like maybe the
Yamamoto on those on my chatterbaits.
Chatterbait.
Oh, the Zika shad or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big Sixth Sense person, so that's pretty much what all I roll with.
Yeah. Awesome. I don't know who I would fish with if I could. I mean, I don't know, dude. Fish with like, I would love to fish a Roland Martin, either Roland Martin or Jim Houston.
That would be my second.
Or no, I take that back. I should say my boy Mike Iaconelli. I think I would really like to fish.
His energy is so like, he's always he's always just
John
ready
Daly,
to go.
dude.
Like let's just get on the water.
John Daly, oh
man,
man, grip it and rip it, baby.
Have to teach him something, you know, but he teach me something about partying.
You gotta think about John Daly. He was drunk half the time, and the dude's still one of the best golfers on the planet.
Oh, yeah, that's so awesome.
Like, you ever watch that documentary?
Boat, man.
Grip it and rip it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's got to be somebody. Listen, that's got to be somebody's. I'll make the decal for you, and we'll get that printed because I think that's badass. But like, I don't feel like a northern guy. I don't think a Yankee could put that on their boat. I think that's a southern. Like, rip it and rip it. I think that's a southern. Right. You ain't gonna see anybody from Connecticut with that. We're up here. It's like, all right, pay your taxes and live in the city. Up here sucks.
Yeah.
No, Matt Robertson. That's a good answer. Matt Robinson would be really fun. That'd be a good time.
That would be a fun one
Fat
too.
Cat Newton. He'd be really fun to fish with. There's so many. There's so many answers. Someone said Ott Defoe. Right. Oh, is that
Ott Defoe? Oh yeah.
Hank's partner.
Yeah.
I believe Michigan boy.
Yeah. That's some good answers. Yeah. Oh, he is a beast. All right, dudes. Well, listen, man, I appreciate y'all for hopping on. I wish you all the best in the rest of your season. Hopefully we can hop back on here. And we'll do another one. Like we'll do another Oklahoma reunion and see that's what I think we'll do. Maybe we'll do at the end of the season, we'll get, we'll bring people back on to see see which team wins it this year. Which team is in the lead right now?
Clark.
AOY.
Dustin Clark.
Dustin and who?
Connor Hobbs.
Connor Hobbs. Okay.
Clark.
All right.
Second right here.
All right. Okay. All right. So it's anybody's game.
The first one of the year too, man. We're coming for you.
I'm coming for that back half. All right. I'm coming for that back half.
They're only
keep your father-in-law on that boat. All right.
Yeah, 9 inches off, man. 9 inches off.
Our first event, the very first ever Slay Nation event, right, was Connecticut held it, and my buddy. His name is G Rock. His name's Glenn Rockefeller, right? For my 40th birthday, I invited some Slay Nation buddies over from my club. And my dad, his name is Frank too. They call him Frankie the Brush. He's an artist, right? He's a musician too. He's a musician as well. But he met G Rock, and my dad used to like work in houses and paint and sheetrock. And he goes, "Yo, what up, sheetrock?" So from now on, we call him sheetrock too. And so G Rock, our very first event, he fell into the lake. They were getting their battery died. They were getting towed in by a big boat, like slowly, but they had a Pelican, like I guess the front is like flat, right? It's like a flat face, not a deep hole. And they took water and they flipped and he fell in. And that was the first time I met the guy. And he was like, talking like the tinfoil blanket, like trying to keep him from getting, and I'm like, gee, and so we're going back to that lake in August. And I'm like, gee, you're going to have to bring your bathing suit this time, man. Like, please don't fall in on purpose.
We gotta go back. I hope
exactly.
Like,
Dustin's taking a swim himself.
Grand Lake.
Yeah.
I think everybody does at one point or another, man. These small boat events, dude. It's like being blessed. Nice. All right, cool. Well, listen. Enjoy your weekends. Happy 4th of July. Keep slaying out there. Holler if you need anything. I hope you guys enjoy your jerseys. Sorry for a delay. This was the first year we didn't make them ourselves, right? Slay Ray would sit in a basement with his one sublimation machine. He made them all for the last 3 years, and so Z Pro offered to make them for us. So they're our nicest ever, but we can only place one order. So I had to wait. Right. That's why we did such a long cutoff. So I appreciate everybody's patience, and I hope you enjoy them because I love them. They're our best we've ever had, man.
They are nice.
And our sponsors like them too. Like all the logos came out really nice. They're SPF 50, so hopefully that helps in that hot ass Oklahoma weather.
It will.
But listen, y'all, I appreciate you guys for all hopping on, man. I know it's late Friday night, and wish you all the best. Holler at me. Holler at me if you need anything, and appreciate you guys for being a part of Slay Nation. And Joey, appreciate you building Oklahoma, dog.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate y'all. Happy 4th
of July. Appreciate it all.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend.
You bet.
Peace. All right, y'all. There we go. Thanks for tuning in. Oklahoma Small Vessel Series. Slayers popping on. Have a great weekend. And don't forget, check out our sponsors. Visit our website, SlayNationTournamentFishing.com. You can still become a member if you want. Look for a club next to you. We have Kayak Series, Small Vessel Series, Horsepower Series. We have Lady Slayers Online Only Series, Next Generation Youth Series. We have our first ever college kayak series. That's a regional event there on the Susquehanna River next Saturday, July 8th. Stay tuned. And we'll share that as well before their championship, their regional championship in August, I think, on Lake George. So thanks for tuning in, right? If you are looking to become a director, right, to bring a club near you, right, also visit our website. We're going to be taking inquiries this summer to get people prepped for next season. All right. So appreciate you all for tuning in. As always, peace, love, and slay all day. Woo!